Hey beauties, it's Riri, and today's video is all about first impressions.
Be your own best, beautiful.
Alright beauties, before we dive in, please don't forget to thumbs up the video if you like what you see, subscribe down below if you have not yet, share the video out if you do enjoy the content. It really does help my channel a lot, and turn on your bell notifications so you'll get notified of future videos. Today we are diving into a ton of brand new makeup. Some are brand new on the market, some are new from indie brands, and some are just new to me. I will be diving into a brand new indie brand for me. This is the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette. I'm incredibly excited to test this out. I did also order her brush collection as well. I have a little sample size of the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer. I recently tested out the cream blush and I loved it. It was a beautiful product. I also have a Touch in Soul Velvet lipstick to try, just in case maybe this shade won't work with our eye look. I'm going to be testing for the first time the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It foundation. Very excited to try that. I have a couple new Avon products to test out. I have the Tone Up Primer in Lavender, which helps to brighten. I also have the Avon True Color Makeup Setting Spray. I'm testing for the first time a Colourpop brow pencil. I'm very nervous, but it's the brow pencil by Colourpop in the shade Brunette. I have a ZOEVA Radiant Bronzer Highlighter to test out, so tons of goodies. Very exciting. We're gonna dive in. The very first thing we're gonna go into is the Tone Up Primer in Lavender. And I do sell Avon, and my link will be down below as always. So I'm going to read up on this really quickly. This is the Tone Up Primer in 03 Lavender. Tone Up Primer color corrects your skin for a bright complexion and helps makeup last longer. Lavender or soft purples, soft lilacs are nice to enhance dull skin, bring out brilliance and brightness. I do like the Dragon Beauty one, so I'm going to be kind of comparing it to this. I know it's obviously going to be a little bit of a different texture. This is more of a primer, where that's more of a kind of concealer consistency. I will say I think the bottle is beautiful. It is a frosted glass bottle. It is quite weighted and quite heavy, so that makes me happy. And it has a pump. We're going to pump some onto the back of the hand. It is quite liquidy and quite watery. I do not spill anything at all. Oh, now I do. Okay, it is definitely perfumed. Was not expecting that. And this is going to brighten the skin, is going to take away any dullness, and it also says it's going to blur the skin. I think I used way too much. I do like the texture of it. It does feel quite light. It doesn't feel tacky or sticky. Yeah, it's definitely perfumed. I wish it were not. If you are extremely sensitive to scent, this is a pass. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. All right, so it says instant hydration and brightening. I am definitely getting both. Of course, I look like a little bit of a ghost right now, but when we put foundation on, it'll be okay. Is it doing what it's supposed to do thus far? Yes. But I think I definitely used a little too much, and I do not like the scent of it. All right, next up, we're going to go into the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It foundation and concealer. This says for all skin types. I got the shade medium. It says ultra luxurious foundation and concealer infused with a powerful blend of Muru Muru butter, Cacao butter, and Tukuma butter from the lush, nutrient-rich Amazon. Incredibly creamy texture melts into skin, leaving a natural, radiant, glowing complexion. Also says long-wearing, weightless, and provides medium buildable to full coverage. So we are going to test this bad boy out. I will say the shade range is not the greatest on this, which is a little bit disappointing. I mean, guys, it's 2021. Companies, we need you to step up to the plate, please, honey. All right. So again, just going to the back of my hand. I always get so nervous, y'all. Okay. Oh, it's way thicker than I thought it was going to be. Quite thick texture. I don't know if I'm smelling the Avon product or this. I feel like I'm smelling this because I feel like I'm definitely smelling some coconut. So let me not waste this product and go ahead and put it on my complexion. When I do my base, I'm looking for, does it blend out well? You know, does it get streaky? Does it get patchy? Does it oxidize quickly? If it's a slightly more mattifying product, does it mattify and kind of set down before I actually get to blend the product out? Because that is not good. And because I like most of my coverage right through here, where I have all my broken capillaries and things like that, I always add a little bit more product there. I'm gonna avoid the direct under eye so I can still use concealer. It feels nice on the skin thus far. It is blending out quite well. I can definitely tell this is a more mattifying formula. I am used to something that is slightly less coverage, as you guys know, and I definitely like dewy, glowy skin. That's just my vibe. We all like different things. I'm going to go back to I'm going to go into the hand now and pull down just a little bit of product. I like to kind of shear it out for the rest of my complexion. I do not like to put product where I do not need it. Okay, super easy to apply. Again, if you're quite sensitive to scent, I do not recommend. So we'll get up close and personal so you can see what it looks like. So you can see over here, even having the primer on, and I do feel like it did blur and kind of, you know, brighten the skin, you can definitely still see redness, broken capillaries, scarring, things like that. And over here, I mean, you can still see a couple little spots. I do not want to build this up. Typically, I would try to build it up to let you guys know, but I'm already starting to feel like it's a little bit too matte for my personal liking. So for that reason, I'm not going to build it up. I'm okay with the coverage. I don't feel like it's emphasizing any texture. It's not like kind of breaking up and looking pilly between my nose, right here in my nose area, which is a big issue sometimes for me. All right, so far so good. I'm going to do this other side and I will be RB. All right, beauties, we are back. I forgot to use my brushes from Lois Cosmetics for my foundation, so I'm taking them out of the wrappers now. And we're going to go ahead and give a quick little first impressions, if you will. That feels lovely. I will say I love the weight of these, and I absolutely love the color of these as well. But they're kind of short. Like I was holding one of the eyeshadow brushes. I'm used to something that's just slightly longer. We'll see how, you know, how they work and how they perform, how they feel when I'm actually doing the makeup. But I prefer brushes that are a little bit longer than this. So we shall see. That is a personal preference. But I will say, based off very, very first impressions, I love the weight of them. The hand feels nice. The shape is nice. And the bristles feel beautiful. I am now going to dive into our cream products. You want to do your cream products before anything else. I'm going to go in first with the Breezy Cream Bronzer in the shade Seychelles by Tarte. And I'm going to feel it first. It feels quite emollient. Ooh, I love the shade of it. I don't smell anything at all. I am going to go in with my finger. I typically use a duo fiber brush or the butt end of a beauty blender, or your finger. I feel like with this foundation, I don't feel like it's going to peel up or pull up with this, but we shall see. Excuse the loud truck that's going by. Oh, I love the tone of this. And y'all know I am a bronzer hoe, honey. And if you go a little crazy on this, you can always fix it and kind of shear it out a little bit and blend it out a little bit more with your foundation brush. You can also go in with a little bit of translucent powder once all your cream products are on. And that will kind of help you kind of shear everything out and make it not look quite as harsh. Like I did right here under my eyes. Lord, honey. And I also forgot to use concealer. So we're off to a great start, guys. Oh yeah, don't forget, tacos and tequila, milk and cookies, Doritos or Cheetos or Fritos, whatever is your pleasure. Grab you a snack, grab two, grab a drink or two, and sit back and relax and enjoy the show. We know that first impressions, y'all, are very long videos, and I do apologize for that, but I like to be as thorough as I can be. I like to really show you guys the application process and stuff like that. I don't want to put a dot of the bronzer and then come back and it's all on my face, and I'm like, oh my god, that was perfect. Okay. Thus far, it's really pretty. It blended out very well. It did not peel or pick up any, any product or anything like that. I like the finish of it. I might have gone a little crazy, so I'm actually kind of happy I didn't do my concealer yet. We're going to switch back and we're going to do concealer and then we'll finish up. I'm going in with the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Full Coverage Concealer. I got the shade 11 Light Medium. Hopefully that works. I will say this is a massive component. It is way thicker than I thought it was going to be. Let's check out the doe foot. Yes, I love the super wide doe foot applicators. They are my favorite. I'm wiping off a lot of this product because, as you guys know, I am a less is more beauty. I do not put product where I do not need it. And as we mature, less is more. Okay? Less is more if you are mature. And I'm going to just blend this out with a sponge and try my hardest to not super interrupt the bronzer. Although, like I said, I did go a little bit crazy and went, you know, added a little bit too much. So I don't think it's going to hurt any. All right, that's pretty. I actually like the shade a lot. I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my lids as well with this. I don't feel like it's super duper full coverage. I still do feel like I can kind of see some blueness kind of peeking through. All right. I think if I would have done this first and I was able to actually build it up, I would maybe try to build it up to see if I can get it to super full coverage. In my opinion, it is not super full coverage. It doesn't seem super drying. It's definitely not heavy or anything like that. And it's playing well with everything else on the complexion. So far, so good. I'm going to do something I don't typically do. You guys know, again, I'm a less is more beauty. But I am going to put a little bit just to kind of highlight the center of the face. Plus, I really want to kind of get a better idea of how it does perform. The texture of it is really pretty, though. Again, it's not pulling up or peeling up. I don't feel like it looks cakey or anything thus far. Okay, I'm happy with where we're at. I'm actually happy with everything so far, aside from the Avon primer. She wasn't a business for me, honey. Okay. All right, we're going to go into the Avon True Color Be Blushed Cheek Color in the shade Blushing Nude. I'm so excited to try this. So that is what the component looks like. And, oh, I love the shade of this. Kind of more like a rusty peachy shade. I'm going to, again, go in with my fingers. You can go in with the butt end of a beauty blender or a duo fiber brush as well. It doesn't feel quite as soft and creamy as the Tarte one. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I don't smell anything at all, thank goodness. And again, I'm just using my fingers. You guys can apply it however, you know, you're most comfortable with applying a cream blush. And I also like to always mention that I'm doing tapping motions, pouncing motion. I'm not pulling or tugging across because that is absolutely going to disrupt makeup underneath. So just keep that in mind. I definitely feel a little more matte than I like to feel, even having cream products on my complexion. I don't know if maybe just the Tone Up primer from Avon was just not hydrating enough. Most likely not. All right, so far so good. I am going to spray my complexion as I always do. I'm going in with my Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. And I just like to do this in between steps so that I can make sure my skin is not getting dry, it's not looking cakey, nothing's, you know, heavy, and everything kind of sinks into the skin as opposed to sitting on top of the skin. Now I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder in medium. This is a holy grail product for me, nothing new for me. And we're going to go into this brush. Sadly, they don't actually have names on them. That's a slight little qualm that I would have. Obviously, it's, you know, a big face brush, powder brush. Again, the weight and everything, I love the weight. I cannot say that enough. Like, the weight of these is fantastic. So I am going to go in. We're going to lightly set the complexion. And normally if I'm kind of already feeling matte, I don't powder my skin. But because I have cream product on it and I'm wanting to go in with a powder product, I am lightly going to set. And when I say lightly, guys, I'm swirling around. I'm tapping off all the excess. Only where I need to, because I want to obviously go in with that bronzer highlight. Okay, I feel like we're pretty set. So we're gonna set that out of the way. I'm so excited to try this. I actually got this like a few months ago in a boxy pop-up and I am dying to try it. So it's the ZOEVA Radiant Bronzer Highlighter Multi-Use Powder. I did get Lumi 0.3. I love the components, this beautiful rose gold. I love that the mirror is actually full size in here. And then you can see it is a more radiant bronzer with a really pretty kind of peachy luminous blush or highlight. I'm gonna go in with just the bronzer side to start with and see if I can kind of pick that up by itself. I smell nothing at all. Oh, I got too much. Oh my God. And we can remedy that. Don't freak out, y'all. Okay, don't freak out if you screw up, because guess what? We're human and it's okay. Yeah, I definitely got way too much product on the brush, so I'm gonna go in very lightly for this side. Oh yeah, less is more is definitely the way to go with this. I love the finish of this for sure. We will definitely have to tone down this side, but I don't mind it. I definitely went a little crazy, so I'm going to go back into my powder, and we are just going to press lightly and just kind of take that down a little bit. And I keep forgetting to use the brushes. Okay, I'm going to go into this brush right here. Again, there are no names, but I would use this for, you know, under the eyes, powder products, highlight, things like that. So I'm actually just going to use it to go in with the little highlight shade and try to keep it as precise as I can. So I'm only picking up the highlight shade. I love the color of this. Okay, very subtle. This is a more fluffy brush though. Very pretty nonetheless. Ooh, okay. I don't mind that at all. I definitely think this is something that I'm only going to be able to use during the summertime while I am tan. But if you do have medium skin, I think this will be absolutely gorgeous on you. And as you can see, it is quite pigmented. Oh, I love the tone of both. I am going to go in with my kind of everyday type of highlight brush. It's just slightly more densely packed, and I just want to see if I can kind of build up the highlight. Yes, you can. Okay. And I like it either way. Sometimes, you know, we don't have to beam from here to outer space all the time, like I do. Okay, yeah, you can definitely build it up. All right, that's stunning. Ooh, next we're going to dive into brows. I have the Colourpop brow pencil, again in the shade Brunette. Kind of very standard packaging. They are a cruelty-free brand, and it is a more affordable brand. So I don't mind basic packaging. Basic's all right. So that is what it looks like. Again, it's a very standard blank. It is nothing fancy. Let's see how skinny it is. Oh yes, a nice skinny retractable pencil. It feels quite stiff though. I'm a little nervous. Yeah, no, Mama can't see, so I got to get up close to the mirror. I don't typically use the end of these. You guys know this already. I go in with my little spoolies that I like to bend to the shape that I like to go in with my brows. So I'm going to brush all the hairs up first. And we're going to see how she works. So I always start a little further out than than my brows are. As you can see, they're a little too far in. And then I very lightly, I'm going to go across. It definitely feels better on the actual brow than it did on my hand. I'm glad about that because it felt quite stiff and I did not think I was going to like it. It's still pretty stiff, but, you know, for the price point and stuff like that, I think, you know, it's worth it. And then I always do a couple little hairs here. And then just fill in wherever I'm sparse at. Kind of brush it through a little bit. Now I'm going to brush my hair down. And I start typically around here. I do not like a super thick, big, bold brow. That's just my personal preference. So I start right around in there, leading up to the arch of my brow, and then meeting my tail. I wish it was slightly less firm, that's all. I feel like it's kind of dragging just a little bit. I don't think the tone of it's bad at all. Okay, I'll do this side and I'll be RB. All right, beauties, you're back. I don't like it. I think if you're just in a pinch and you need something quickly and inexpensive, it's okay. It already broke on me twice because it is so stiff that I'm kind of literally tugging across. It definitely felt really, really stiff on the hand, and it didn't seem like it was as stiff when I started to apply it. But then as I was starting to play with it, it definitely is, in my personal opinion, a little too stiff. So not a big fan, I'm so sorry. But if you're looking for an affordable brow pencil that does work well, lasts all day, the Ulta Beauty, the Ultra Slim Brow Pencil is amazing. It's like $10, I think, and they also do BOGO all the time. The L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, I think is what it's called, is a beautiful product. And then the one by Maybelline is also, they have like a micro pencil one. Those are all fantastic. It's just a pass for me. I'm sorry. Next up, I've wanted this since they first announced like little spoilers and sneak peeks, and I missed out on it. and I missed out on it. And then finally I got it on the third time. So hey, third time's a charm. But it is the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld eyeshadow palette. I love the artwork. I can tell you already that it does feel heavy. I really, really love the artwork on this. I think it's absolutely stunning. She is vegan and cruelty-free, and they are based in the UK. This is a Riri palette if I ever did see one. I am incredibly excited to test this out. So you can see some beautiful warmer tones, and then we have our beautiful grungy and our grungy shades, our greens and our golds, which are my favorite. I also love that there is a black. I like that there are more mattes to shimmers. I really love the I love the layout. I love the color story. Mama's excited. Can y'all tell? So I'm going to be testing this, and I'm also going to be testing the brushes. Again, I'm weirded out just because they're super short, but they may work beautifully. I'm going to go into the fluffiest brush first, and I think I'm going to go into, I always do greens, so I think I'm going to veer more towards kind of like the purpley pink shades. So I'm going to go into Footsteps first, which is right here. I'm not getting a lot of kickback at all. And I'm going to rock this in the crease. And keep in mind, because I have hooded lids, that is why you guys see me go slightly above my crease. I'll show you on this side. If I stayed literally at my crease and rocked it directly in the crease, kind of pushing into that bone right there, and I open my eye, you don't see anything. So because I do have hooded lids, I go into the crease, and then you'll see me feather above the crease. That is my method. If you have hooded lids or downturned lids and you have a different method, you do you. This is just what I use, and this works perfectly for me. I don't like the length of these, but they feel super soft. I will say that. Everything's blending well. They're doing the job they're supposed to do. I just like a little bit longer of a brush, that's all. And again, that's personal preference, you guys. Okay, I'm happy so far. I'm going to go into the next smallest brush, and I'm going to go into Snakebite, which is this beautiful berry shade. Again, not a lot of kickback at all. I'm shocked. And I'm going to take this and actually keep this in the crease, kind of following that little bone there. Oh, that is beautiful. Ooh. And what I'm trying to see, you guys, when I'm, testing a new brand or a new formula for the first time, I'm not trying to do an extravagant look. I'm only trying to see, do they blend together? Do they become muddy or patchy or anything like that? Can I layer them? Things like that. I'm basically just trying to see performance-wise, and then how long do they last on my lids. And we're going to go into a firm shader brush. I'm going to go back into the exact same shade, that Snakebite shade. And we're going to meet where we left off and follow that shade down to the lower lash line. I'm going to go into this brush right here, and I think I'm going to go into Underworld, which is our black, very, very, very gently and very carefully. And I just want to put it really close on the outer V here. I love a black in a palette, and I love using blacks to create looks. I know a lot of people don't, but I love them. Just like I always like to have like a white or like a bone shade so that I can blend out deeper colors. I'm going to go back into our little shader brush and go back into Footsteps, which was that kind of purpley mauve shade. And I'm going to come right underneath. And then again with our fluffy brush. So the brushes, I'm on the fence over. They definitely feel like good quality. The weight on them's nice, especially on the face brushes. Now the face brushes I love. These are just, they're not my favorite. Like, I like to hold my brush, as you guys know, kind of way down, and they're just not my preferred length. But they're good quality nonetheless. Okay, so far so good. I really think that they're performing beautifully. I think I'm going to go into the shade Poetry, which is right here. And we're going to put that on our lid. Oh, that's pretty. And I always just use my finger. I feel like you get the best color payoff on a metallic shade like this. And then I'm going to go in with her little firm little packing brush over here and go back into the little Poetry shade. And that's just so that I can be a little bit more precise. And then in between where the matte and the shimmer meet, I'm lightly going to go between those two shades. just to make sure that there's still a nice gradient and that nothing is harsh. We don't want harsh lines. I like this. I think it's really, really pretty. Of course, this side over here is more my vibes, but you guys know my love for indie brands. So I'm excited. I really like this. I am going to go into this shade right here called Eurydice. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner. Whoa. She packs a punch, honey. That is beautiful. And this is a dry brush. Ooh. All right, I'm impressed. I really, really like it. The brushes, the face brushes, huge fan. The eyeshadow brushes, I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan. Next up, I'm gonna try, this is not new on the market, but I know a lot of people that have not tried this yet, including myself, but it's the Urban Decay Lash Freaky Volume Mascara. That is super duper cool. I love the green, of course. That wand is definitely strange. So it has a little ball at the top, and then it has the teeny tiny little teeth. All right, let's go in. It seems like a very wet formula, which are not my favorite. We all know this. So I'm gonna go in with this part first, and I also really do not like these types of applicators. I'm just terrified of them. I don't have the best vision, and I have definitely poked myself in the eye quite a few times with these types of applicators. Okay, it's definitely very black. Getting a little bit of separation. There's a little ball part to get into the inner lashes. That works really well there. I don't like it. It's already clumping my lashes together. I know some people like that aesthetic, and if you do, that's great. You do you. Do what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. I do not like that at all. It is slightly more wet than I like also for a mascara. So I'm definitely getting clumping, especially if you're trying to build this up. No. Let me get an applicator real quick. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. Yeah, that's a no. That is a 100% flat out no. I'm going to use it on the other side just to make sure that we have, you know, we're even over here. Okay, yeah, no. Personal preference though, you guys, I typically like a drier formulation of mascara, and I like a thick, fluffy, like hourglass shape one. I don't like it. I'm so sorry. I go into the Touch and Soul Velvet Lipstick, and this is the shade Portland Brick. It says warm brick red, reminiscent of Portland's square bricks. So hopefully it'll look okay with this. I hope. Oh, I love the packaging. It reminds me of the Huda Beauty ones. Oh, they may not match. We'll be all right. I don't smell anything harsh at all. I do like the shape of the lipstick as well. I have mixed feelings. The level of pigmentation is 100% there. It's quite creamy and feels nice and comfortable on the lips. But because I do have more mature lips, it is definitely starting to bleed a little bit. You could obviously remedy that with an anti-feathering lip pencil or a standard lip pencil. So yeah, not my favorite. And then last but not least, we're going to go in with the Avon True Color Makeup Setting Spray. Okay, kind of, again, a standard, you know, component. Nothing fancy, nothing to write home about. I'm going to shake it up. And we're going to test the sprayer first. Oh, quite fine. But also a lot comes out. I don't think I like that. It's kind of going, yeah, it's kind of going everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of water gunny, and it feels slightly sticky. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like anything sticky, okay? I don't. So I think overall we did okay. We had a lot of misses as well. The Touch and Soul lipstick is just okay. The Lash Freak she's a no. The Tone Up Primer, I'm going to revisit it. It's not my favorite and I don't like the scent of it, but I do want to test this out with a more kind of dewy, luminous foundation and just see how I feel about it. The foundation, I think that it's really, really pretty, and I will come back and leave a comment. As of right now, I don't think that I personally would use it again, because even though it is quite pretty, I feel like I look way too matte. I definitely look way too matte. And I just don't like that. The Tarte Bronzer, I really, really liked this. The formulation was beautiful. The tone of it was lovely. Didn't pick up any of the other products or anything, so I like that. The blush, I love the tone of it. The texture was lovely. Again, it didn't pull or peel up any product or anything like that. The palette, I really, really like. Again, y'all know I love indie brands. We'll see, you know, how long does it last on the lids. That's the most important thing. But everything blended well together. I do like the color story. I like the layout of it, and it seems really good quality. The brushes, I'm also on the fence about. I love these two brushes right here. They're nice and weighted. I love the weight of them. They're very densely packed, but also incredibly soft. The eyeshadow brushes, they served their purpose. I just don't like the length, that's all. The ZOEVA Radiant Bronzer Highlighter, I love this. I think it's a beautiful product. The Dose of Colors, I'll revisit it. I don't see any settling. I don't feel like it has aged me any. And some concealers obviously can when you have more mature skin. Yeah, I think overall, it was probably about 50-50. There are a few things I really, really love. There are a few things that I don't really like too much. So that is it, beauties. Let me know what you guys think down below. Sound off below. Are any of these your holy grails? Are you dying to try any of these products yourself? Let mama know. I love you, beauties. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, and be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.